Golden Hour, and okay, we are live. Okay. So if you are listening to the podcast, you may be getting this a little bit early. The TV show goes live this Thursday, which the date is October 12th at noon Pacific on E360 TV. Just look for Cheap TV. That's our network, the Golden Hour, and you can actually watch us on your television. The E360 app is easy to download. I easily found it on my TV, or you could actually put it on your phone as well. So you can watch it through that. You can watch it through the pod, or you can listen to it through the podcast, or you can watch it live on my YouTube channel at noon Pacific on Thursday, October 12th. So this is a really cool conversation today because it's one that I have yet to have on the TV show. I do have another episode on chakras that you can find deep in season 1 that really goes into each chakra and how everything works. So this is my understanding. I've taken no courses on this. This is stuff that has come through me. So I'm not going to, I really want you to understand that these are things that I truly believe in. And when you do believe in them, they just give you an up level in life because we have energy systems within our body. And when we understand the energy systems within our body and we work to clear them, we work to understand that there could be blockages within our body. And the reason why I feel this so strongly is because I've done hundreds of sessions with people where we've been able to clear chakras and they've had incredible results. I've had intuitive downloads about them in my own personal life that I know that there is something to be said about these energy systems and working intimately with them within your own being to clear them so that you can come to a new place and start manifesting something new. Now, I had something new in doing some research that came across that I really felt strongly that I needed to share today because it kind of takes chakras to a whole new level and it clears up some of the discrepancies about affirmations. So I have always shared with you guys that affirmations are something that you want to do only when you're feeling the energy of the affirmation. If you work to do an affirmation and say, I am abundant when you're feeling broke, it could actually do the opposite for you. It will actually create more of a disbelief within you because you're trying to overcome a belief that is really strong and in your face. You're trying to overcome that reality by saying something that you don't really believe. Energetically, you're not going to be in alignment with abundance. And I don't care if you say it, the idea is, oh my goodness, if I say I am abundant a million times, I will convince my subconscious that I am. I just don't believe that. Because always we need evidence, right? To really believe, we need some sort of evidence. We need to see some sort of indication in the universe of that evidence. And often those indications are very small. When it comes to abundance, they could be very small, and they usually start with how you feel. So it could be you get an unexpected bill and you don't freak out about it. Wow, that's new. I must be becoming a more abundant person because I'm trusting more, because I understand that when these things happen, they give me an opportunity to manifest. So pay attention to the way you feel, because the way you feel is what is actually conducting that energy. Remember, energy in motion is your emotions. So if you're looking for those indications and you're not getting them, let's say you wake up every day and you say, I am abundant, I am abundant, I am abundant all day long. I used to work with this woman and she would have the oils, people have the oils and the sprays, and we have sprays here. We do Palo Santo and energy clearing spray, and I'm all about it. Whatever makes the air feel fresher. And if there's a belief system around these oils that they really help us, I'm all about it. But it is putting some of your power on an outside source. If you're dousing yourself with abundance oil every single day, right? Are you really believing you're abundant? Or are you putting your power in that oil saying, please help me be abundant, right? So it's all about the way you feel and energetically align with the energy field on what you're looking to manifest. So when it comes to chakras, there are actually 12 in the system, but I'm only going to work with the 7 that are inside of our body. There's some higher chakras up here that I'm not going to go into today. I do have a teaching on the higher chakras. So if you're interested in it, email me at livelifegolden@gmail.com and I can talk to you about getting that over to you, because that's kind of like it's another level of understanding, and it's not totally necessary. Like, none of this stuff is necessary for you to even know, but it's good to know. It's good to know because where you are affected in your body from life matters. It matters when you know where that energy is in your body, when you feel that tightening in your heart, when you feel that feeling in your gut, that sick feeling in your gut. It's good to know that. That is your indicator, your inside indicator, telling you that something is off, or telling you that something needs to be cleared, or telling you that there's something in that chakra system that really needs to be taken a look at. So I'm going to explain the chakras to you, and then I'm going to explain the affirmations that connect to which chakra, which will make you even more powerful in your manifestation. And again, you don't need any of this. I actually don't do affirmations. What I do is I interrupt. I'm really good at interrupting and feeding my brain something new. So I guess it is kind of like affirmations, but it's a neural habit. It's a neural habit movement. It's getting out of the neural habits and it's creating new ones. So it's an up level in the mind process, the thought process, in what I am feeding my internal self, right? So let me think, for example, like some of the things that I've recently come out of. One of my mantras right now is there is no lack. And I love that, because for a long time in doing what I'm doing, there's questions, and am I doing it right? And I've hired people, and good Lord, I've spent a lot of money hiring people that I think are smarter than me, that are, that end up disappointing me, that overpromise and underdeliver. Yeah, that's been my story. And that story is done, because there is no lack. I have no lack. Alls you need to do is follow your inspirations and listen to your guidance and follow the energy. That's all we need to do. Now, that doesn't mean that we have everything figured out and that we don't need to hire people to help us. That's not what it means. It means, what are we doing it from? If we're hiring people to help us in our business, or if we're taking another course, right? I think I talked about this last week, paralysis of analysis, taking another course because we don't feel like we're good enough. Where does the energy come from? Right? I don't know what I'm doing. I need somebody to tell me what I'm doing. Of course I know what I'm doing. And if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to figure it out, right? You don't need to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for somebody else to tell you what to do, because you're not going to be including your inner guidance when you're listening too much to the outside world. That was my Facebook post today, October 10th. Okay. So when it comes to the chakras, there are 7 of them. How I got interested in the chakras, I really had I had heard about them. I've done yoga, I've done meditation. I come to California and I'm doing law of attraction coaching. I'd been doing law of attraction coaching for a few years back in Connecticut. I was doing speaking, I was doing seminars, I was doing all sorts of great stuff. And I was doing one-on-one coaching over the phone. And what I realized was there were some people were not having the progress that I really wanted them to have. And I started to look at myself and why I was having progress. And part of the biggest reason I was having progress is because I was working with energy people. So I would work with energy healers to help me to release stuff, to clean up my chakras. I was very aware of the energy in my body and where things were showing up, and getting better and better about clearing them. Was it perfect? No. Is it perfect still? I don't know. I don't really get, and it's probably because my chakras are not blocked at all. I don't get that blocked energy anymore. That energy when you feel like there's an elephant on your chest all day? Yeah, I lived like that for a while. I don't really get that anymore because I am working on the emotional field as things come up. I'm not just pushing them down or pushing them away. I'm dealing with things as they come up so they don't have to get trapped in my body. And I think that's a lot of times what happens to us is we don't deal with our stuff right away. So then it settles into that area and just becomes kind of an underlying condition. And that underlying condition can show up as disease, can just show up as anxiety every day. Unexplained anxiety. I feel anxious and I don't know why, right? So it's really important to understand what's going on in your body and the energy systems within your body. So we have 7 of them. And the interesting thing when we start really looking at these and really getting in touch and in tune with them is we can start using them to energetically align with the things that we want. So when it comes to the root chakra, which is at the base of your spine, and they always use colors, right? So there's red. Red is the color of the root chakra. Now, the root chakra is connected to your prosperity. It's also your generational energy. So it's like that connection of your generations, what you're connected to. It is where you will feel lack, where you will feel fear over finances, where you will feel unsupported. If you have a lot of lower back pain, this is why. It's usually connected to finances or some sort of unsupport in the universe. That's the root chakra. Remember during the whole 2020 thing when everybody ran out and got toilet paper? That's because of survival. So your root chakra is your survival mode, right? It's like your basics, the basics of life that you need to survive from. Whenever you are in fear of your basic survival, you're dealing with the root chakra. That's the lowest chakra and it's survival mode. It's not a great mode to live in. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a great mode to live in because when you're living from the lower chakras, so the lowest is the root. When you're living from those low chakras, you're in survival mode. So you're not connected up here, which is your spiritual center. Heart up is your spiritual center. So that's your spiritual connection that will connect you to trust and faith and miracles and all the great things that you connect to. So that root chakra is the base. Pay attention to that. If you're having a lot of root issues, if you're having a lot of pain there, if you're having a lot of constipation, these are all things that are connected to your flow, to the flow of energy that you are trusting and believing in. If you are interested in clearing your chakras out, there's lots of YouTubes on it. I know I think Dr. Joe has one, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I can do one. I can definitely do one and offer that to you guys. I've done this tons with my clients. It's really, really effective and you will feel lighter. If you do a video and you don't feel lighter afterwards, it wasn't that effective. You should feel the energy moving through you. Maybe I'll even do it on a podcast. We'll see. All right, so that's the root chakra. It deals with finances, it deals with your prosperity, it deals with your belief that you are supported in the universe. There'll be a lot of fear there if that chakra is blocked up. So basically your chakras are supposed to be spinning. And if you've had a lot of wounding done, if you've had a lot of trauma in certain areas, that chakra will not work properly. And that's why you'll have these ungrounded fears, these uncertainty, just the things that drive that anxiety every day. So that's why it's important to clear this stuff up for yourself. Okay. So then the next chakra you have is your sacral chakra, which is above that. Right? It's that lower abdomen region underneath the belly button. That is orange in color. Having to do with the sacral chakra is your emotional field, right? Energy in motion. That's also where your creativity is. So if you feel blocks to your creativity, it's your sacral chakra. It's also your sexual energy. So if you've had any kind of sexual abuse, a lot of times the sexual chakra will be affected, the sacral chakra, and you may feel blocks in your creativity. You may not be able to express emotion. You may express too much emotion. So you really want to get this one dialed in because think about the emotions, right? That's energy in motion. So we want to get our emotional field in a really healthy place So that's working on the sacral chakra and clearing that energy out. So if you have a lot of cramping, if you have a lot of problems with digestion, if you have trouble going to the bathroom, either over or active, under or active bladder, all those things have to do with a sacral chakra that is in proper alignment, that is working properly for you. Your creative juice flowing comes from the sacral chakra, that lower region below your belly button. If you have a lot of weight gain there, think about what that is. Heavy energy in the sacral chakra will keep you very blocked in life. And, it's funny because there's all this talk about, women and menopause and hormones and all of that. And, and then don't even get me started. Okay. So there's all this talk about it. And a lot of the talk about it really is it's that that our bodies are not brilliant, that our bodies cannot heal themselves, that there's something outside of us. We need to take a pill. We need to we need to formulate our hormones. Like, what did they do back in the day, right? Like, they took herbs. They didn't do medicine. They allowed the body to come back into alignment with natural things. So I am a huge proponent of not giving into the belief systems that are going to create heavy energy in my body. And I did for a long time. If you've been watching me for a long time, you know that I have, and I've completely let it go. I'm eating healthy. I'm walking a lot, 10,000 steps or more. I'm weight training. I feel amazing. There's no more lack in my experience. That's where I'm coming from. There's no more lack in my experience. And one thing that I've noticed, and this may happen to you, is like when you have time, when you just kind of let it go and you don't eat well. And something I'm really noticing with sugar and alcohol is it causes a lot of inflammation in the body. So I'll be really sore after a weekend of just like, my granddaughter was here 2 weeks ago. We were eating a lot of marshmallows. I love marshmallows. I know they're like crap, but I can't, like, once I start eating them, I just love them. So, I woke up on Monday morning just feeling really sore and just and bloated, right? So recognizing that that's not necessarily weight gain, that's your body trying to deal with like toxic substances, so you don't end up beating yourself up and getting yourself in a really bad place where you actually attract more unhealthy foods and heavier energy. It's just letting it. This whole thing is a letting go. It's a letting go, an interrupting, and a letting go. That's how you come into new awareness. That's how you come into new alignment, is by letting go of the story you've been telling that is keeping you the same, that is keeping you in the heavyweight, right? All right. So with that sacral chakra comes that orange color. Above the belly button is your solar plexus. This is your power center. This is yellow in color, interestingly. If you think of the light, right? The light that we shine on others. This is our self-confidence. This is our self-esteem. This is where, you can often feel your intuition, right? That gut brain connection. We've talked about that. So it's like when I feel something in my gut is off, am I ignoring that, or am I following my own guidance, right? If I'm feeling sick to my stomach after an interaction with someone, what does that say to me? What do I need to heal? Where are my boundaries being crossed? Where am I allowing my boundaries to be crossed? The solar plexus is a really interesting area that when you get really clear about it and you know who you are and you stand in your power, that it ignites. That chakra actually ignites. So if you have any trouble there, digestion, stomach aches, heartburn, indigestion, any of that stuff, it could mean that your solar plexus is blocked. If you've had, if you have trouble talking to people, social anxiety, that's where that comes from. So you got to clear that. It also comes from the throat, but it mostly comes from knowing who you are. So if you need to do some work on knowing who you are, I highly recommend going inside and asking yourself and looking for those traumas and those memories, not to pull them up to relive them, but to pull them up and release them. I no longer need to act like I'm 5 years old. I no longer need to act from that little girl. Or little boy, I can heal that within me so that I can become more, so that I can become who I am meant to be, which is powerful, a powerful creator, somebody who knows who they are and moves through life in a way that allows me to shine my light because I'm not dimming it, because I'm not afraid of what other people think. That's also where judgment is. Judgment, jealousy, all that stuff that we feel when we don't feel good enough, that unworthiness, that all comes from the solar plexus chakra. So I'm going to explain the chakras and then I'm going to get into the wording around each chakra that could help you to up level your manifestation game. So don't think I forgot that. I did not. Okay. Now, moving into the heart chakra. What a beautiful chakra this is. It is emerald green in color. It is, to me, the heart chakra is one of, to me, it's, I don't want to say it's the most important one, but it is so important. It is so important for you to have a heart chakra that is fully recognized and whole and filled with self-love for you. A lot of your issues come from the heart chakra. You know that feeling when your heart is sad, when it feels low? That's where we get anxiety. That's where we get constriction. That's where we get heartbroken, right? There's no such thing as a heartbreak. There's no such thing as a heartbreak. The truth is, it's the heart has the ability to heal and become whole and become more through any heartbreak you've been through. I swear, I promise. It's all a call for you to go within and find out that you are truly the purest essence of love there is. When you start to know that, I did share last week, I have a self-guided self-love meditation that I got some incredible feedback about. So if you really want that, let me know. Either message me on Facebook or Instagram, or you can email me at livelifegolden@gmail.com. Amazing self-love. Because when you know the love of self, you no longer look for love outside of yourself. And when you're no longer looking for love outside of yourself, when you no longer feel unworthy or like you don't deserve love, life will not have to reflect that to you. Your relationships will not have to reflect that to you. And because of that, then you start to know the love that you are outside of yourself. And then everyone starts reflecting love to you. I experience it a lot, so I know, and it's amazing. And it wasn't always like that for me. I just want you to know that, because I think it's easy to look at what I'm doing or hear me or what and think, oh, that girl has had, the most perfect life. And if you look at my life now, it looks pretty close. There's always bumps and there's always speed bumps and whatnot, but I have a beautiful, amazing marriage, an incredible family that I've built. But I've built those on the foundation of a lot of contrast, of a lot of challenge, of a childhood that was really, really challenging. It was really toxic. There was a lot of abuse, and people did the best they could, but I had to heal a lot of that. When I first met my husband, I was 12. And when we first started dating, I was 14. And I had the lowest self-esteem of anybody you could ever meet. I was like, I didn't know who I was. I hated myself. I felt ugly. And our relationship was the beginning of me starting to see that I was worthy of great love. And that has progressed over time, where I started to really meditate and started to feel less lack. And it's been, I don't know, a 30-year journey. I've been on a spiritual journey for 30 years. So in knowing all of that, that's where I sit today. But I understand if you're coming from a place where your heart has just been broken, or you don't know who you are, or you don't forgive yourself, or you don't forgive others, and you live in a lot of resentment. I had some interesting stuff come up the other day, and it was on the heels of my acting class. And my acting class is blowing my mind right now. I'm so in love with it. I'm so interested in it. I just love the different facets of characters. And one thing that I realized is I was channeling some resentment that I totally thought I let go of, from a relationship I had when I was younger. And I was channeling that through my character. And then the next day I woke up and I was feeling a lot of resentment around a lot of different things in my home. And I started to really go, wow, holy cow, like that's in there. So I sat down and I journaled and I got it out, and I actually ended up laying down and meditating to release myself from it. And by the end of the day, I was in a much better place than I was in the beginning of the day. But the thing about it is, if you are used to living in resentment, if you are used to living in self-critical mode where you're always beating yourself up, it's a habit. It's a habit that downloads all this stuff in your body that you get addicted to. So you have to start breaking the addiction to the adrenaline, the addiction to the drama. You have to start breaking that. And you do that by mind training, by interrupting, by noticing how you feel, by noticing where energy is starting to trap in your body. Where am I feeling tense, right? Taking a deep breath. So often we are walking around inside of our heads. I think I'm doing less and less of this these days, and it feels amazing because I'm more connected to the moment. You will be more connected to the present moment. You will be more connected to the here and now, and you will be more effective. You will be a more effective creator. You'll be a more effective communicator. You'll be paying attention more to life, so you won't be missing moments, like important moments, right? Do you ever have somebody like walk into the room and you're either watching TV or you're on your phone and they said a bunch of things and you didn't hear it, and they walk out and you're like, there was no connection? That's what I'm talking about. Because there's a lot of things that are, or like when I get into work mode, sometimes it's like, I don't have time for anybody out here. So, right? What really matters? Yeah, we got to take time to work. We got to take time to get things done. But our relationships and the people in our life really matter. And the present moment really matters, because we don't want to miss our lives. We really want to be, um, effective, and we can't be effective if we're not in the energy field. If we're living up here all the time, we're not actually conducting. We're not conducting from a deliberate intention. We're more just going with the flow of whatever our monkey mind has given us. So it's super important. All right, so your heart chakra. So we got to do some healing there. There's some forgiveness that needs to happen. There's some letting go that needs to happen. There's some forgiveness of yourself that needs to happen. And there's some real healing that needs to happen if you're going to live from that place of true love. Another thing that I've really been working on, and I know this is in the heart chakra, is the judgment piece. I mean, some of it is your mind, yes, but it's having love and compassion for everyone, right? Realizing that everyone has a story, everyone has things going on. And instead of living from a triggered state where we're like accusing people, being defensive and, flying off the cuff, we take some time and we back up a little bit. My husband is amazing at getting me to do this when I kind of fly off the handle a little bit, because I've got some triggers and I've got some wounds. And sometimes I'm just like, no more, right? But if we can just sit back a little bit and have some compassion for those around us and remember that everyone has a story, then we'll judge a little less harshly. Because judging harshly, this is what I'm recognizing, judging harshly or thinking things about people in the negative tone lowers your vibration. So it's really about you in the long run and what you're doing to drop that vibration. So when I see somebody and I don't agree with what they're doing, or I don't like what they're wearing or what they did to their face, I'm dropping my vibration because I'm pulling a harsh judgment to that person when I have no idea what they've walked through or why they're choosing what they choose. It's not really fair, right? So I'm working on that. That's a big piece. We all grow up with a lot of judgments, and I was in a very critical childhood where everything was critiqued and everyone was criticized. And so getting out of those habits is like a lifetime of energy that I'm working to come off of. Okay. So heart chakra, do some work there. Self-love to heal that chakra. Green in color. Okay. Coming up to the throat chakra. This one also is ultra important. So now we're up in the spiritual connected chakras, out of the survival chakras. So now we have the ability to connect to connect with divine energy, God energy, source energy, whatever you like to call it, to connect with your non-physical guides, angels, whatever you believe in, to manifest with you. So this is where that co-creative partnership comes in. Your throat chakra gets blocked in a lot of different ways from a lot of different things. One way is, I call it playground wounds, but it's like elementary school wounds when we were, said the wrong answer or we were made fun of for something we said. When I was in fourth grade, oh my goodness, when I was in fourth grade, I believed in Santa Claus. Yeah, I was a late believer. I would, people could say I'm gullible. And I thought that if my parents told me that something was true, then I should believe it, right? And believing in Santa is really fun, right? So my teacher, I was getting made fun of really bad. I mean, I was at the age where I probably should have known better, and it was pretty bad. So I was getting made fun of. So my teacher did this whole thing on Saint Nick, and it was like it kind of made me believe even more. And so when I got home from school, I told my mom what happened, and she was like, Santa doesn't exist. And I cried. I mean, I bawled. And the really cool thing is I've actually married someone who believes in Santa. We believe in the energy of Santa. We believe in the energy of the magic of Christmas, the miracles of Christmas, the whole thing. So we've kind of shifted it away from this fictitious character and made it more of an energy in our home. But what those things do to you, right? Those childhood wounds, those times when you were told to shut up, those times when you were told that you couldn't speak, those times when you were shut down emotionally will cause blockages in your throat chakra. If you are terrified to speak in front of a group, that is all throat chakra stuff. If you have a really hard time connecting your heart to what you want to say, that's throat chakra. That's your connection between your throat and your heart. So the throat chakra is really important if you really want to start speaking what you're looking to manifest, right? Putting it into words. Instead of speaking about what you don't want, you speak more about what you do want to happen. Super important in shifting the energy field towards what you want. Your words are your wand. I think that's a Florence Scovel Shin video on YouTube. Your words are your wand. Take that to heart, because everything you say about yourself, everything you say about other people, everything you say about what's happening or what you want to happen or don't want to happen is your wand. So take that to heart. Your words really matter. I've been getting really sensitive to swearing, and the TV show doesn't let me swear. So you probably have noticed in the podcast that I probably am swearing less. But I've been getting really sensitive to swearing. And I think it's just because I'm aware of the energy behind the words. So it's not necessarily the word that is, but it's just the energy of it. It's the energy of the words that I'm really paying attention to. I know I did a whole thing on swearing back in the podcast, and I did some research on it. And it was really interesting because swearing will actually help you relieve pain. That's why when we hurt ourselves, we swear, right? So it can help you relieve pain, but not if you overuse it. So if you swear all the time, it won't be as effective. So keep that in mind if you want to use it as a pain reliever. But it's having integrity with your word. It's having a certain grace and a certain class. I mean, they're just words, yes. And sometimes it feels good to swear. I'm not going to lie. Like when I'm with my friends, I like to rip it sometimes, and sometimes it feels good, and sometimes it makes me feel cool or powerful or whatever. But in my everyday life, I've just really noticed it. And I have children all around me that have truck driver mouths. So yeah, so there's that. So just be aware of your words. And if this energy here, if you can't speak what you want, if you can't speak to people and communicate, you've got some issues in the throat chakra. If you have a lot of sore throats, if you have a lot of strep throat, if you have a lot of stuff going on in that throat area, that is to be looked at because your throat chakra is blocked, or if your voice has been messed up, or it's your throat chakra. Highly recommend, I'm not and I'm not an affiliate for this, but colloidal silver. Let me actually put that up right now because this is like changed our lives. This is how you spell it. You can get it in a spray. You can get it in a nose spray, a throat spray. This stuff has been literally keeping my family healthy. We traveled back to the East Coast and saw hundreds of people, traveled back home. We were with so many people, and a lot of people got ill right after that, and we did not. And I swear it's this stuff. And one of the reasons why, you can look it up, and if you Google it, I wanted to talk about Google. I'm going to talk about Google in a second. But if you look it up, there you might find negative things about colloidal silver. There's been some energies to keep it from us because it really does cure a lot of things. So it cures skin things, nose, throat, all of it. And what it does is it clears passages. I had valley fever and I was so sick, sick as I've ever been. And I vaporized colloidal silver a couple times a day and it was gone within 2 days. So I'm telling you guys, this stuff is like a miracle. I used to take all sorts of stuff for immune. This is all I'm doing. Here's my other ones that I do. Lion's mane. I do both of the, I have a little real mushroom discount code right here. I take lion's mane for the cognitive because I really believe that mushrooms are some of our greatest healers. So I take lion's mane for cognitive, and then we do the 5 defenders for our immune. So that's the 3 things that we're doing. And I'm telling you, it's been amazing. Like even if people start to get stuffy or start to get a scratchy throat, we hop on this stuff. I do it a couple times a day just for, just to keep everything clear, keep everything clean. But I'm telling you, colloidal silver is the way. And then the mushrooms are the second thing we're doing. Okay. Jumped off on a tangent. That was my little commercial for today. Okay. Where are we at? Throat chakra. Okay. So throat chakra, colloidal silver. Hello. Then we're going up to the third eye, which is right here. Now, this is an area that when you meditate, if you just bring your eyes up a little bit and kind of focus on this area right here and having it be very, very clear, your meditations are going to be really deep if you focus on that third eye area. So the third eye is where we make those intuitive connections. It's where we go from the mind to the intuition. So are we clear about what's going on? There's been a lot of like, how do we clear this area? Dr. Joe Dispenza has amazing pineal gland clearing exercises on YouTube that I've done where you like hold all the energy right here. And it just really, I've had incredible meditations doing that. So that area right there is super important when it comes to intuition and acting from that intuition. So you're not in the monkey mind, but you're in the intuition. So when you meditate, if you can close your eyes, and you guys know I've promoted the Silva meditations before, but that's where you count from backwards from 100 to 1. Great thing to do in the middle of the night when you can't sleep. But being able to focus on that third eye and have that be a clear path for you, got to have a meditation practice to do this. The meditation practice is like a number 1. Oh, that's what I was going to say. M21 group, Revolution group on Facebook. You can ask to join. It's a free group. We do donation-based challenges. There's 21-day meditation in there right now where you could grab a meditation every day. But if you go in that group and you Google or search energy release or energy, I think it's energy release. My energy releases are in there that will clear, or chakra release. Look for those. And Jess may have done some too. So that's a cool place to go for that. All right. So third eye chakra, we need that clear. We need that clear so that we're not moving from fear, so that we're not moving from habits, so that we're able to be clear about our intentions and where we're going in life so that we can have the clarity to move forward. I forgot to say that throat chakra is blue. I think it's like turquoise blue. And then the third eye is that indigo color, or fuchsia. And then the top one is, or this one's indigo and this one's fuchsia. I think that's right. You can look it up. Google it. All right. So let me just do my little Google thing and then I'll talk to you about the rest of these. So the other day I was on Facebook and this woman kind of started this thing with me. And I was telling oh, this woman's dog had valley fever. So I was telling her about colloidal silver and how we've used it on our pets, right? So my daughters have used it on their puppy skin, and we've used it on our cats. Our cat had some weird thing going on in her neck, and we used colloidal silver on that, and it worked great. And this woman came up against me, and it's so funny when people do this on Facebook, and she was really adamant about the fact that, you know, I shouldn't be giving advice because I'm not a vet and this and that. And it's not safe for pets and all this stuff. And I just pulled a thing up from Google that said it is safe for pets. And she's like, oh, are you going to trust Google? And it triggered me a little bit, but it also helped me to gain a little bit of clarity because I don't necessarily trust doctors or vets anymore. I don't. I think there's agendas out there. So I'm very of where I'm getting my information from. So I'm like, well, why would I trust Google, right? Of all things, like, why would I trust Google? It's not Google that I trust. What I trust is that the information from the universe is coming to me that I am in alignment with, and then I use my inner guidance to feel whether it feels right or not. The colloidal silver thing feels so right to me. And now I have evidence of it clearing up a lot of things. My daughter had a spot on her leg that most people would probably flip out about and call skin cancer. And she started putting colloidal silver on it, and it completely went away. So there's things that I really believe in through evidence, and then I watch the energy field. So when I Google things, like I Google animal totems all the time, and a message comes to me through that, I trust it because it usually aligns with my life. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that totally makes sense. So the alignment of our energy field is what we're actually doing. That's actually what we're taking in, and then working with how does it make me feel. So if your doctor or your vet tells you something that feels really off, like, oh, you need to get this, you know, this thing so that you're healthy and that you stay healthy or that you keep your grandchildren healthy. If that doesn't feel right to you, good Lord, don't put it in your body. Like, we need to get better about that internal guidance and understanding that our bodies are the great healers, that we have the ability to heal ourselves very naturally and without some crazy stuff that's out there. You know what I mean? That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. So when it comes to your guidance, you are the one who has to make the decisions about what you're going to believe and what you're not going to believe. All right, so let's go to the crown chakra. Woo, last one. This is your spiritual connection. This is where your divine energy comes in. This is where you receive. This is all the receiving. And that's why I'm always promoting meditation so hardly, that's not a word, so strongly, because opening up this channel is what's going to help you to create a more spirit-centered life. It's going to help you to create and get better at manifesting because now you're co-creating with the universe. So in that energy field of the crown chakra, that's where all your information is coming in for you to receive so that you can create miracles and experience synchronicities. That's the crown chakra. And if your crown chakra is blocked, guess what? Guess what you're going to have a lot of? Headaches, monkey mind, right? That constant racing mind. I hear it all the time from people that say, there's no way I could meditate. There's no way. And oh, I just want to debunk that because it's a practice and we have to train it. And if we want our crown chakras to open so we have more clarity, so we have more quiet, we have to create the quiet first to open up the channel. Spiritually speaking, we got to get quiet first, right? What did Jesus do? He went to the mountain for 45 days. We got to get quiet. If we're constantly thinking thoughts over and over and over again, we have no room to move from. We have no space to create from. We're just a victim to the old habits and thoughts and energies that they're not being promoted correctly in our bodies. Something is off. All right, so that's the crown chakra. All right, so let's get into these little affirmations, which are so cool. This is such a cool thing that I just literally found out. And I thought it would be so fun to share it because it made so much sense to me. Again, it's these things that make sense, that resonate, that might be resonating with you if you're listening to this. All right. So if you are used to saying, let me just make sure. Okay, I talked about the affirmation statements, and if you're not really believing your I am statements, how proclaiming them can create the opposite, right? Can make you feel like a liar or make you feel like a phony. That's not going to help you manifest. So if you understand that the root chakra is the I am statement, that's where it's coming from. There's a couple reasons why the root chakra is the I am statements. I am is yourself, right? That survival mode. I'm all alone. I have to do it all on my own. It's also like, I remember in the early stages of learning manifestation, we would say these ridiculous things, I am a millionaire. It's like not even like having any idea what that means or what that looks like or what that feels like, just throwing this stuff out there. And it's so far from who you believe you are that you're doing a disservice to yourself. So the I am comes from the root chakra, which is survival. Now, if this I am situation, these I am affirmations have been working for you, just throw out what I'm saying and go for it. But maybe, just maybe, this conversation could amplify you, can amplify what you're doing. Okay, the sacral chakra is all about I feel. Remember, I feel the energy and motion. The sacral chakra is your emotional field. So the I am statement would be I am abundant. The sacral chakra would be I feel abundant. That's more powerful than I am. I feel is more powerful than I am because I feel is energy and motion. Solar plexus is I do, right? I do. That's my confidence. That's my power center. I do abundance. I do abundance, right? When it comes to the solar plexus chakra, now you're starting to formulate a little more power. I'm not saying that the other ones are not powerful. I'm just saying this is the progression of manifestation in language and in alignment, aligning your body with what you say you want, with who you say you want to be, right? I do abundance. Okay, then the heart chakra is I love. Oh my goodness. If you could start loving more, right? I mean, how many times have you thought about money and it brings up really anxious, ugly, nasty feelings and you think, I really hate money. I really wish our world didn't work on money. You're pushing money away. So and also like what's the programming there, right? The root of all evil. What, remember that? Remember these little programmings that have been placed inside of us, those social programmings? A rich man, it's easier for I forget. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I can't do my Bible quotes when I'm trying to. The eye of the needle one, remember that one, right? Easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. Okay. Sometimes I got to go back in the files. Those are the programmings that we have that have been keeping us from abundance. So getting into that energy field of, I love money. I love abundance. I love to feel luxury. I love, right? Love is such a high vibration. When you start getting into love, you're actually in alignment with abundance. And then getting into your throat chakra, I speak abundance. I'm no longer speaking lack. I speak abundance. Everything I say is about abundance. I am in the flow of abundance. I speak. Your third eye is I see abundance. Oh, this is a good one. So this is when you start to see abundance everywhere. It's not just money. You see abundance in the flowers and the trees and the sky and the clouds and the sunshine and the butterflies. I see abundance. That's a whole new level. Do you see how we're coming up and we're aligning stronger with the energy field? It doesn't mean we're thinking about money. We're not seeing money necessarily. We're seeing abundance. We're seeing evidence of abundance in the universe, which is way stronger than I am abundant, because I am takes the universe out of it. It becomes just you. Okay, and then your crown chakra, as I understand. And I also want to add, it is, I know abundance. You know your worthiness. You know abundance. And when you know, that's when manifestation is the next logical step. And that's when manifestation will actually feel less of a surprise. It will feel less of a jump. You may actually manifest something really big that you've been looking to do for a long time, and it will just feel like, okay, what's next? Right? You'll have all this excitement, and then you'll get there and you'll go, all right, what are we working on next? Take the time to celebrate. Just take the time to celebrate. Because when you know, there's no separation between you and it. So when you know, there's no lack. There's no space between you and it. It is. You are it. You become that which you seek. And that is the most exciting part to get to. So that's kind of the progression of manifestation. And if you've been at the I am place for a while, I understand. I mean, that's really, I believe, a beginning process of this journey is figuring this stuff out, going for the stuff first. It's more, manifesting now is not less about the stuff for me and more about the journey. It's more about the excitement. It's more about the adventure. It's more about, oh my goodness, the thrill of universal orchestration. I get so jazzed about that. Watching the orchestration and seeing it in other people's lives around me and going, wow, that happened, so that could happen. It's so cool to connect the dots, because as you connect the dots, you're going to become a more confident and powerful creator that nothing will get in your way anymore. It's not to say that life is perfect, but what it is to say is you live from this foundation of faith and trust, where when things happen, they don't throw you off your game so hard. It's more of an invitation. It's like, all right, okay, all right. Things are not quite going the way that I expected them to go, but I'm really interested to see where they're going next. I'm really interested to see how I can move up the scale of my chakras and really own what I want to happen. So think about where you are energetically. Think about this and these energy centers in your body and how they feel and what they're promoting and what you are allowing and what's going on inside of you. If you've got problems, if you've got challenges or issues within your body, it's a call. It's an invitation to heal something that has been off for a long time. That's what disease is. It's dis-ease. You are not easing into life. You are not in the flow of life if you have disease present. I know there's a lot of information out there. It can really get you. But the truth is, you are a powerful creator when it comes to anything. Your body, your relationships, your career, your money, every single thing in your life is about the alignment of what you have with it. It's about the relationship you have with it, what you are allowing, what you are tolerating. Do you have boundaries? If you're getting mad at people, it's because your boundaries are messed up, because you've allowed something. You've allowed someone to destroy, to trample your boundaries. You did that. So it's not like you beat yourself up about it. You just take personal responsibility so you can change it. So that's our chakra conversation. Always be aware of how you feel and where it's showing up in your body, because that's your greatest work. That's the greatest ability and power you have to work within your field, to make sure that you're clear, to make sure that you're cleansed, to make sure that you're creating from a clear path. If you're feeling all yucky inside, what do you think the outside world is going to show you? It's always going to show you what you have going on within. So you got to clean it up. You got to clean up that story. If you really want to manifest amazing things, there may be blockages that you need to release. You can go to the M21 Revolution group. I have some clearing things on there, exercises on there, or you can look on YouTube. There's some great stuff on YouTube. I'm a big fan of that. And remember, if you're searching something on YouTube and something pops up, I just always feel like things are coming for us, that are perfect for us. So if you resonate with me and you want to go check my stuff out, do it. If you don't, hey, there's a big, big world out there. Lots of people and lots of opportunities. So I live in the abundance of the universe, and so do you. All right, you guys, that's my chakra conversation. This will be showing up on the podcast really soon, and it will go live on Thursday on my YouTube channel and on E360 TV. If you haven't checked that out yet, it's kind of fun to watch this stuff on TV. I really appreciate you listening. I'm just going to keep going. I don't know what's next. I don't need to know what's next. I'm just along for the ride, and I'm watching the energy. All right, you guys, I love y'all. Oh, you know what? One more thing. If you need to find my books, I forgot to mention this. You have to Google my name. You have to go in Amazon, search my name, Goldyn Duffy Books. You'll find Mindful Manifestation Secrets, which is our journey from Connecticut to California. And it's the whole manifestation process. And then my Mindful Manifestation Secrets Daily Guide and Journal, such a beautiful book, 100 pages of content with great journaling exercises and blank pages for you. And then Quantum Speak for Parents, which I don't always speak about, but that is a parenting journey, energetic parenting that could really help you along your path. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I'll see you next week. Peace. Forget if I can find this. All right. Peace out.